tight. Hold my baby squid, keep them out of sight. Talking about my life, government stay away. If you drive, I'ma do it my own way. Squid in the ocean, swimming all alone. Ain't nobody telling me where to go. Living free, gotta stay true to myself. No need for interference from anyone else. Squid pro quo, that's the way to be. Living on my terms, setting myself free. Mama to my baby, protecting with my no government intrusion. I control my life.
Hey guys, it's Squid. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is doing well tonight. I am cold AF, so if you want to watch me sweat and try to read at the same time, send them super chats because for every $25, I'm going to be eating one of these. This is my spicy, like the peppered garlic. I hope everybody is doing well tonight on this cold night. If you're dealing with the snow, hope you stay safe and stay warm. It is below freezing here, so it's cold. It's not as cold as up north, but right now it is cold. We have 65% humidity and 31 degrees. So, yeah. And supposedly Atlanta is supposed to get a rain-snow mix. That should be fun to watch. And thank you, getting things off right with Unghung here with the $2 super chat, because he has to embarrass me every day, but for $1.39 ish, I will I don't know. What are the odds Bruce half-cocks himself in response to this? I just, yeah. And hey, wow, this new document is interesting. Jeremy demands LP to produce videos that were produced last November and December. We'll get into that. I'm wondering if, just based on your statement, I haven't actually read them. I posted that short as soon as I saw that they dropped, and I literally had to leave. I left the house at 5:03. So, yeah, did not have time to read them, did not have time to go through them. But who did she produce them to last November? And were they the full videos, or were they edited? That's the questions that come to mind when I read your comment. I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. I don't know. But when I see that, knowing that Shochet is competent, there has to be a reason. So we'll get into it. And joining me for this, Georgie.
Hi, beautiful. How was work?
Oh, there was 3 of us tonight. So I usually don't get done until like 9:15, 9:20. So I'm like, okay, I'll set it up for 10 just in case. And then like there's 3 of us now. And it's like, holy crap, we got done in less than 3 hours.
Heck yeah.
I was like, okay, I still get paid the same either way. I get a lump sum. So like I get paid per day, almost like salary.
Oh, yeah.
Not per hour. So it's like, okay, you're gonna pay me the same way either way, whether it takes us 4 hours or 2.5. So here I am.
Right.
But since I was gonna get home early, I was like, I have to stream early because I'm like, I can't stay up. Like last night, I intended to go to bed at 8:00 with the little one, and midnight I was still awake. So today I was hoping to get some sleep. So we'll see. And I actually get sleep tonight because I just got home, went and changed my shirt and brushed my hair kind of thing. And the little one is in bed with her dad and they're spooning. He's
Oh,
like this and she's like right here. And I'm like, she's going to be there all night. She ain't going to move. I don't have to worry about her. I'm going to go to the guest bedroom and I'm going to sleep.
there you go.
I've been sleeping on the floor in her room because I've been trying to train her not to come in our bedroom in the middle of the night. So,
Sleep training is so hard.
it's like I like I don't know. Like, it was easier when she was super little and she was in a crib. Like, because
Tiny still sleeps with us. Okay, he's 6.
yeah,
But his whole life, he was in his own bed, in his own room, until we lost our big house. And we had to go live with my stepmom for a couple months. And he had to sleep with us. And ever since then, he's been clinging. And he will not sleep in his own bed, in his own room anymore.
yeah, I don't. I'm torn because I know it's not going to last forever, but at the same time, like, we only have a queen size bed right now, and they are space heaters, and I cannot sleep in the bed with them because I go to bed later than them, obviously. So trying to actually have space is hard. And then I sweat. Like, there was a few nights that I was waking up and I thought I was like going through early menopause or something, that I have night sweats. And I'm like, no, I just sleep with 2 space heaters.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Same.
they radiate heat. I don't understand. There's been times where she radiates heat so much that I had actually checked her temperature because I thought she was sick.
Nope,
And then,
just
like,
tiny human heater.
nope, yep. She's just like her dad. She's a human heater. So, all right. We are going to get into this. Let's see. There we go. I was like, I have to make sure I share the right thing, otherwise I'll get demonetized again for sharing my own email. That was dumb.
Did it separate it for you to where it's 52, 52.1, 52.2? Or did it
No.
just bunch them all together?
It bunched them all together. So,
okay.
yeah.
Document 52, 1 of 13. This
Yep,
is an easy one.
It bunched them all together. So there's 4 different documents. When I downloaded it from Pacer, it downloaded them all together because I didn't have the time. I'm sure if I would have went in there and hit like one at a time, but I hit all, not thinking that all was going to put them all in one document. So here we go. All right. We're just gonna get into this. Let me make it just a little bit bigger so that y'all can see. And I swear, I think I spelled Shochet's name wrong again. Like, every time I type it, I spell it differently, and I'm pretty sure I'm wrong every time.
You just missed a T, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look.
Like, we'll see it when we get to the bottom of this page to know if we did it right or not.
Yeah, thanks for breaking it down and reading it too. I like reading documents like this. Not only does it like make my brain work to actually read documents like this and words that I don't usually say on a daily basis, but I am taking this case from purely if I was a jury member or the judge, like, because I don't have the time or energy or give a damn to go back 3 years worth of videos from everybody and try to figure all this stuff out. I am just taking this from a strictly the documents. So when y'all say that he's been doing this for 3 years, like they've been going back, I know, but I am going purely, I'm taking a different approach than everybody who hops on one side or the other. No offense to anybody who does that. That was not the point of that comment. But me, I have no, like I said, I don't watch either side. Like, like, I'll watch like 5 minutes of Jeremy's videos and then I'll get busy doing something else and the rest of it'll play. And I'm like, I missed half of it. Like, it but same thing happens with everybody. Like, it's mostly background noise right now. I have a very hard time focusing on a video when I'm, so having all the drama, like, I understand, but I am taking it purely what the lawyers say and what the judge is seeing. That's it. Because, like, I like that you don't read it all. It takes way too long for too little info, the way other channels are doing it. I don't read the stuff where I know, like, it's going to be the same. I just, like, I go, y'all read this earlier. Like, I don't need to read every, paragraph that I know this paragraph was the same for the last person.
By
Like,
the way, a lot of these pages are the exact same. Once you read part of this, it's repeated in several of these pages, the exact same paragraphs. I
and
was so
and I
lost earlier.
and I do understand that Shochet has to write it that way because welcome
Yeah.
to Legal Writing 101. There's a lot of repetition. However, just because there is a lot of repetition, I can say, here it is. I will post it on Discord. So if y'all want to actually read it for yourself word for word and see if I'm telling the truth or not when I say that's the same paragraph, it'll be there for you. Oh, and because it downloaded it as 4 separate documents, even though it's one document, it charged me over twice the price that it normally would have. It usually caps at 30 pages, so it's max of $3 per document. But because it downloaded 22 pages, 5 pages, this page, it cost me over almost $7.
That's
So
crazy.
even though it's 4 separate documents, it charged me as like 4 separate documents, even though it's in one. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, well, that's just unfortunate. I mean, it's only like $6.70, but like still, it's like usually when it downloads a document over 30 pages, it caps it at 30 pages, so it's $3. So it's like $3 a document. It's not really that big of a deal, but
Well, this set's 13. The next set is 22. No, the next set's 15, and then the set after that's 15.
Hey, Henry. All right, and Hung Hero, I saw this. Ugh. Yeah. All right. Motion to compel the production of documents. Plaintiff Jeremy B. Hales, Mr. Hales, by and through undersigned counsel and pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 37 and Rule 26.1d of the local rules for United States District Court for the Northern District of Florida, hereby files this motion to compel the production of documents from defendant Lynette Michelle Lacey Alexis Preston. I like how he puts that in all, like he puts it all. Like, puts it all. You can't skip one because then she can say, well, this is, she can try to wiggle her way out of things.
You know what's crazy is her 2 middle names, Lacey and Alexis, is actually her stripper name and not even her legal name. But because she has used it as an alias on legal documents in many different states and counties, they have to put it in there.
And that's so insane. That's insane. And defendant John Cook, together the defendants, and seeks the entry of an order from this court compelling discovery from defendants in support hereof. Mr. Hale states, on November 12th, 24, plaintiff served each defendant with plaintiff's first request for production of documents. Each RFP contained identical 20 requests to produce a copy of each RFP, one to Preston and one to Cook, and are attached hereto as Exhibit 1. On or about December 12th, 24, after 6 p.m., the defendant's counsel served responses and produced nothing. The production responses are hereto Exhibits 2 and 3. The production responses began with 3 pages of general objections. See Exhibits 2 and 3, pages 1 through 3. Regarding these general objections, United States Magistrate Judge Zachary C. Bolitho recently stated, aside from being a poor strategy, really, what is the point of doing this? Such general objections violate the local rules and are improper. See the Northern District of Florida Local Rules 26.1c, stating that an objection cannot be set out generally for an entire set of discovery requests. See also Auto Brands LLC versus Auto Express Car Wash LLC. Northern District of Florida, February 19th, 2020. See, part of not being a lawyer is I see all these numbers and I know like it's a case number and all of that, but I don't know how to exactly read it where it rolls off the tongue. So I just read where it's from. And then if you want to go back and find that case, it is right here for you. And Ung Hung Hero, thanks for the $2 super chat. All hail the honorable general objections. Yeah, I heard he was a douchebag.
Listen, we were making fun of Bubbles hardcore with this one because Randy put in Bubbles' response to each time Randy requested the discovery. Bubbles would have some bullshit excuse.
General objections, maybe do push-ups once. It's usually like 23 pen points, section 27. Yeah, and I'm not smart enough to remember that. Somebody, Jedi Jess, she's a lawyer. She told me that. And I am sorry to Jedi Jess. I said I'd only had 2 lawyers on my panel and on my channel, and that was MLS and Vices. I lied. Jedi Jess has been on my panel too. Like, she's been on my channel. She is a mod, but she's also been on my channel, and she is a lawyer. She's good at finding documents because being a lawyer, that's her thing. So I apologize to her if she watches the other stream and I say I've only had 2 lawyers on my panel. I feel so bad. I was thinking about that when I was working and I was like, oh no, I've had 3.
Oops.
Yeah. And I honestly say she was probably the best. Not so much because of being the most well-known or anything like that, but she's the one I'm closest to. Like, I talk to her more than I would talk to any of the other two. Yeah. There's a reason she was a mod on this channel and they're not.
I don't think I've seen her yet, have I?
She's a mod for Baker too, so she's busy a lot. She's also one of Baker's Discord mods, so she's busy a lot. In addition to being a practicing lawyer. So she's busy. She's here and there, but she's generally busy. Recognizing that general objections asserted to all discovery requests are improper. Thus, defendant's general objections are akin to no objection at all and fail to provide a basis for refusing to provide plaintiff with discovery request. All Laundry Systems LLC v. Adams, Northern District of Florida, August 15th, 2024. Ooh, a recent case. The defendant's improper general objections contain numerous boilerplate and inappropriate objections, such as vague or ambiguous, overly broad, unduly burdensome. I can see that from Bubbles, unduly burdensome. Hey, Teddy Bear Love. Not reasonably calculated to lead the discovery of admissible evidence, and lacks sufficient specificity, say that 10 times fast, to know what is demanded. Without any accompanying explanation, see Exhibits 2 and 3, pages 1 through 3. This means that the defendant's production response and supplemental response are 1, entirely deficient, and 2, are akin to no objection at all, and 3, fail to provide a basis for refusing to provide plaintiff with the discovery request, or requested discovery. My dyslexia kicks in. No. I know what you think when I say vague, what it sounds like.
Vague Nation?
Yeah.
Hi, Teddy.
The discovery responses further include the following. Defendant incorporates by reference every general objection set forth above into each specific response set forth below. A specific response may repeat a general objection for emphasis or some other reason. The failure to include any general objection in any specific response does not waive any general objection to that request. Unhung Heroes trying to derail me again. We're only up to $4 for super chats, so if you want to derail me and get me to eat this painfully delicious garlic clove, you must work harder.
She's got to ward off the vampires, guys. Come on.
I would say in general it's pretty good, but I don't know. I haven't read all of it. Like it literally dropped 15 minutes before I had to leave for work. So
I read 52 and 52-1 on stream earlier, and a lot of it's extremely repetitive, but it's pretty decent. It's from Shochet, so
yeah, Shochet generally writes pretty well, where it's easy to understand and it's not like reading the deposition. Bruce takes 30 words to ask a question that he could ask in 10. Like it's just so it's a roundabout, and he writes like he talks in a roundabout fashion. He doesn't get straight to the point. And I guess that's just me being the medical writing and having 5 minutes to write an entire note and basically being this because of this. Patient did this, and it did this. Like you don't you don't beat around the bush, and you don't try to fluff up your documentation with extra words because you don't have the time. We barely write incomplete sentences in the medical field. So having extra words and extra like word salad to ask a question that could be asked in 10 seconds and having an entire page full of bull crap is kind of like, it makes my like OT brain go insane. Wasting energy, time, oxygen, everything. All right. See exhibits 2 and 3 at page 3. Regarding this not waiving any general objection and incorporating the general objections into each response, U.S. Magistrate Judge Zachary C. Belitho, and his name is pronounced Belitho. I watched an interview with him, and that's what they called him. So
yeah. I've been pronouncing it wrong. I said Belitho.
It's Belitho. I was saying Belitho at first, and then I watched an interview he did, and they said Belitho.
I just changed it and said McDreamy. Like I can't pronounce his name, so I'll just call him by his nickname we gave him.
Unhung Hero, thanks for the $50 super chat. I guess I'll pay up and drink every time she reads general objections. This is 2 cloves at once, right? Don't half cock it.
You actually said the word.
Yeah, I say like I will say that dude's name, which is Hath, Hath. However, I won't say it unless you super chat me. So every super chat, Unhung Hero mentions it now. All right, 2 cloves. I can't. One.
That's all you, boo. Oh, that face! Somebody screenshot the face she's making. That looks like you eat a lemon. That face you made, like a sour lemon. Are those freeze dried?
Huh?
Are those freeze dried? Because that crunch sounds like tater chips.
They're deep fried.
Oh, they're deep fried. Wait, you can deep fry garlic cloves?
Yeah, they're deep fried and then tossed in peppers, including habanero ghost peppers, 7-pot chocolate dula peppers, reaper peppers, and oleo resin capsicum. Oh, and they're so delicious, but they are so hot. Oh, there we go.
Shelly, this one is basically where he's requesting for discovery, and he's already been in contact with Bubbles for the discovery, but Bubbles is refusing to give them the documents that they're requesting. So he's having to write it to the judge and say, make him give me this.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not somebody commented on my post that I made earlier that it wasn't the motion they were hoping for, and I completely agree. I was really hoping for the judge's response to the amended complaints.
Right?
That's what I was really hoping for. So, and I'm sure others can attest to the fact that yes, it's helpful, and yes, it's interesting that we have another motion, but it's not exactly the documents that I was hoping to see today.
But
However,
this has some juicy stuff in it from what I've glanced at so far.
and we're gonna get to that. Hold on a second. I just had to put something in the private chat. All right.
Get out of my head.
I was
literally telling you that his name.
Yeah.
I was literally telling you the same thing.
Yeah, I was texting someone earlier, and they asked me that, and I'm like, yep, will do. I just have to make sure. So once again, I'm saying it to you so that I don't forget.
Yeah, me and him already discussed it on my stream earlier. I was like, I didn't even know that was you for real. So
yep, we're just gonna skip some things. All right. Zachary Belitho recently stated, this type of producing documents subject to or without waiving objections approach is improper and fails to preserve any objection to the discovery request. See Ellis v. Pilot Travel Centers, LLC, Northern District of Florida, September 26, 2019. Pilot Travels was sued. Oh, I will have to look at that because like I go to Pilot all the time. like
that's a truck stop.
Yeah. And I like when I see a company that I frequent in a lawsuit, I like to look it up.
See why they were sued?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too.
Explaining that a party's practice of providing discovery responses subject to or without waiving its objection is improper. Damn, my tongue is burning. 2 at once extends the heat.
Wow, Flash. That's rude. He just compared you to a CNN reporter. That's rude. This isn't fake news.
Flash fan? I love you, little bro, but damn.
That's rude.
Yeah, inside joke. Squid
doesn't like to it. Well, at least we know she don't like the long black train.
Yo. Sweet Jesus.
At least I can keep up with your chat. Mine was going crazy earlier. I was like, I can't keep up.
How many people were in your chat? There's only 32 people here because Tug's still live.
I had 300 people.
Nice.
I was like,
well, Tug's live, so there's not going to be any, like, there's not, people are over there, so I'm okay with that. I don't, it's just one of those things of, like, I don't, when I set up a stream and I want to talk about something, I don't care who else is streaming. Like, I don't go, oh, this person's streaming, or I think this person set up a stream for this time. I can't stream. It's like, no, when it works in my schedule and I want to talk about something, I'm going to stream. Like, it is what it is. So, like, sometimes I'll only get like 15 or 20 people in chat because other people are live. And it's like, I've had people go, well, why don't you stream at this time? Or why don't you wait to do this or wait to do that? Because this person's going live. And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't care. Because I know that they don't do that. Like, I know that they don't do that for me. Like, and it's nothing personal against them or against anybody else. But like, when you are a streamer, you can't make your schedule around other people. It's just, you can't, oh, he's streaming this doc. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
he was covering the stuff about the haters falling apart.
And that's what I thought he was covering. So I'm like, okay, I'll cover this because he's not literally talking about the same thing at the same time. Yes, there's always going to be someone streaming and it's unavoidable. Yeah. So, all right, let's get back to this. See also Mullins v. Encore Senior Living, LLC. Northern District of Florida, November 16th, 2007. To the extent that the material was produced subject to or without waiving an objection, the objecting party should not expect the objection to be sustained by this court. All Laundry Systems, LLC v. Adams, Northern District, it's everything is Northern District of Florida. So August 15th, 24. One of the 20 discovery requests, 16 of plaintiff's discovery requests were met with the same boilerplate objections to include the general objections by defendants. Defendants objected to virtually all the discovery requests as overly broad, unduly burdensome, and not reasonably calculated to lead to the discovery of admissible evidence. Vague and or ambiguous, overly broad in scope. Yeah. Overly broad in scope and time, lacks sufficient specificity to know what is demanded, encompasses information and documents which are protected by the attorney-client privilege and or the work product privilege, and seeks to impose duties beyond those arising under the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. See Exhibits 2 and 3, pages 4 through 14. Regarding meeting discovery request with the same boilerplate objections to include the general objections, Zachary Belitho stated, here again, defendant's objections are improper. This throw spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks type of boilerplate objection has been consistently recognized as ineffective. See Ellis. The law in the 11th Circuit makes clear that boilerplate discovery objections are tantamount to no objection being raised at all and may constitute a waiver of the discovery being sought. See also Otto Brands 2020. Objections which state that a discovery request is vague, overly broad, there you go, or unduly burdensome are by themselves meaningless and are deemed without merit. Yeah, because you have to prove why they're overly broad. I can say anything is overly broad. That doesn't make it right. Like, it's just, you can't object with being like, oh, that's overly broad. Why do you think that? Like, I'm that kid that always asks why. Well, you can't just make an objection without having a reason. Like, what makes it overly broad? I mean, this is just how my brain works. Y'all got a lesson in how my brain works earlier when I go down rabbit holes, when I read something and I'm like, why? Because not to compare it to medical documentation, but I was taught when I was describing or when I was documenting to always ask why. Why are we doing this? Why is it appropriate? Why, always ask why. Because when you submit documentation, the insurance company is going to ask why. Why did you do that? And so you tailor your writing to why it's appropriate. And you can't just say objection broad and be like, with what evidence? It's just like, oh my God. You can't do certain things. You can't. And, like, why do people think they can get away with certain shit? Like, why? Why do they think that? Why does Bubbles think he can write just a broad objection and think that it's going to get over, that it's going to go over well with the judge? Like, this ain't state court. Sorry, bro. Like, this is a federal judge, and a young federal judge. Like, I think he's only 42. So, Latin is the basis for legal language as well, which is one of the reasons that I can't read certain things. And I'm like, nope. So, I cannot speak Latin, Flash fan. I can barely speak. All right. Broad-based, non-specific objections are almost impossible to assess on their merits and fall woefully short of the burden that must be borne by a party making an objection. Oh. I just like saying ad hoc vices because I thought it was funny because of legal vices. So, and I changed the time because I got out of work early and I got home early. So I started early because that way I can go to bed earlier. How are you tonight, Roy? He's not educated well, just blowing bubbles. Oh, I gotta.
That part.
You know when you like eat something and you get like a spice that like lingers? Well, I just inhaled and yeah, it's burning all over again. Hey, Kelly. Oh, I don't want to know. Oh my goodness. Well, DM me if you need anything. All right. Party making an objection to an interrogatory or documents request. The prohibition on boilerplate objections is not new, and defendant's counsel should have been well aware of it when he drafted the objections in this case. The court will not wade through the boilerplate and identify which, if any, of the litany of objections may actually apply to the particular discovery request. Thus, defendant's boilerplate objections are akin to no objection at all and fail to provide a basis for refusing to comply with plaintiff's discovery requests. Although defendants have attempted to provide specific objections in their responses to plaintiff's motion to compel, their attempt is unavailing. Ellis, 19. As another court has explained, the court will not rely on post hoc justifications for a party's boilerplate objections. Lorenzano v. Systems, Inc. Where is that from? Middle District of Florida, 2018. Thus, to the extent defendants tried to raise specific objections in their response, the court finds that defendants waived these objections. See also Nelson, 2006. These the objections here were fit.
Where are you at?
Down here.
Oh, I see it.
Facially insufficient. Thus, more specific objections that might have been made are now waived. VA had my pain meds on manufactured back order, so I'm into the ow. Hate it when inhaling is spicy. Yeah. Like every once in a while you get like a new spice that pops up. But eating two at once is definitely not a good idea. All right. And then he quotes or Northern District of Florida, the Laundry Systems LLC v. Adams. Ninja Puppy, I also ate 2 of these and then try to read. So that was hilarious in its own right. Not only do I have a hard enough time reading things, I like to read them. It's just sometimes my brain moves faster than my lips and I get I stumble over my words. That's that brain surgery thing. That's one of those remaining, like, lingering effects. The discovery responses stated that each defendant will only produce, at some unstated date, the texts that each defendant still saved. See discovery responses to RFP 1, 2, 3, and 6. This is very convenient. So if the defendant says, I didn't save it, it's gone. First party spoliation now on display. And that word I can say, I've never seen that word before. That's a Google.
Spoliation?
Yeah.
Let's Google it. I will Google it while you read.
Okay. All right. On December 13th, 2024, in a good faith effort to resolve the issues raised by the responses, Defendant's Counsel was advised that, pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 37 and Rule 7.1b of the Local Rules for United States District Court for the Northern District of Florida, what does it say?
Spoliation of evidence refers to knowing or negligent. Yes, thank you. Words are hard tonight. Withholding, altering, hiding, or destruction of evidence relevant to a legal proceeding. It can result in legal consequences, including incarceration or fines.
Interesting. And I would have guessed it was something like that just based on the context, but, I don't assume things because, you know what they say when you assume.
True.
The responses were woefully inadequate in such a high-profile case like this. Please respond to this email explaining why we should not file a motion to compel the production of documents from the defendant, Lynette, Michelle, Lacey, Alexis Preston, and John Cook. That really rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Yeah, spoliation. Yeah. And seek the entry of an order from this court compelling discovery from defendants. On or about December 22nd, 2024, defendants sent an email which included a link to just 3 files, which were 3 videos of text messages, not even the actual documents in their original source format as requested. Defendant's most recent 12/22/24 email was intended to be a supplemental response to plaintiff's first request for production of documents. To Ms. Preston, only here and after the supplemental response, a copy of defendant's email in December 2020. December 20, I'm assuming that was supposed to be 2024.
Yeah, 2025.
Well,
oh, wait, you're right.
That's December 22nd, 2024. Come on.
2205. We in the future now, folks.
I know. We just got transported. Attached hereto is Exhibit 4. Preston's supplemental response also includes these objections to the RFP. Request 1. I stand on the listed objections, although the provided communications are responsive. Request 2, same. Request 3, same. Request 4, I honestly can't understand what this is seeking. Request number 5, same. You want to invade her entire history of phone calls so you can contact people to generate content.
Remember, this is Bruce's response to the request.
Yeah. Why is he so concerned with content? Like, his antics are what's making the content.
That part. The whole ass part.
Yeah. His antics and his lack of skill and lack of judgment, proper judgment, and lack of ethics are what's making the content for everybody else. The only thing that's making the content for Jeremy is his channel, like he said in the deposition, is about his life. And right now, this is consuming his life. Therefore, it's consuming his channel because his channel is about his life. For the rest of us who are literally just reading, well, me in my case, just reading legal documents and commenting on what I see, in addition to the fact that Bubbles just mentioned my daughter choking on an Apple Pencil, and the fact that he owns an iPad and doesn't know what a fucking Apple Pencil is still boggles my mind. Still boggles my mind. Like, dude, you don't know what an Apple Pencil is? You dumb. Like,
That part.
like,
I don't
dude.
even use Apple products, and I knew what it was.
I mean, he has an iPhone and an iPad. You don't know what an Apple Pencil is? Dude, come on. Like, and I all I have is Apple products, but I'm not an Apple groupie that, like, started with the iPhone. My first computer was an Apple IIc when I was 3 years old. So, like, my history of Apple goes back, like, 36 years. So, I'm not sure he's playing. I'm not sure he's playing.
He's not playing by any means. He got his brain from a Cracker Jack box.
Yeah, because he's trying to spin this entire case into YouTube content, frivolous case, and try to get the magistrate to dismiss it. That is a very valid point. That's a very valid point. Oh, I misunderstood, I believe. I saw everyone saying Shochet dropped a motion. I took it as Shochet withdrew his motion. Nope, a new motion dropped onto I almost said Discord. Like, no, Pacer. Like, yeah. My parents use the Apple IIc for accounting business. Robert, you want to know some shit? My dad in the 80s was going to buy Apple stock. Somebody that he works with talked him out of it. My dad was going to buy 1,000 shares of Apple-ish at like $1 and something per share. Could you imagine how much freaking money my father would have right now if he bought Apple stock in the 80s?
Right?
Like, I'm sorry, Unghung Hero. I had a couple Android phones back in the day. The only the only issues I've ever had with phones going wrong, being stuck in airplane mode, not sending text, blah blah blah, was when I had Androids. Sorry. Like, yeah. Hey Taz. Holy crap. Yep. Holy crap is about right. Like, holy crap is about right. All right, let's get back into this. Well, I think he was going to buy 1,000 shares. I think. It might have been more, but for some reason the number 1,000 sticks with me. Maybe that was how much he was going to spend. I don't know. So, all right. Request 6. What does refute to mean? It makes no sense. It's not for her to refute, whether this refers to refuting the claim that she made the comments or refuting the comment itself. It's for your client to prove she made the comments and that they are actionable. I honestly don't know what you're seeking here. Request 7, same. Yeah, it's split a few times. He would have a couple at a minimum a couple million. Request 7, same. Request 8, not sure what you're seeking. You produced her state court filings to us. Your client obtains all police records. Request 9, why isn't this privileged? Request 10, again, it's so unspecific as to be unanswerable. Request 11, this information is the same as anyone can see. She doesn't have any additional unless you can explain what else you're seeking. Request 12, same as 5. 5 is about the you want to invade her entire history of phone calls so you can contact people to generate content. And what he doesn't, I don't understand how these people don't realize that they are the ones who generate content for the rest of us. Because I don't go out of my way to talk about certain people, but when they talk about me and I hear things and then people send me things and I see things, I'm gonna freaking talk about it. So my content is coming from your stupidity. Like, if you weren't a loudmouth idiot who didn't know what he was talking about, opened his mouth and said stupid shit, I wouldn't have anything to talk about.
Right? You'd have never got involved.
That's for damn sure. Like, I don't take kindly to threats. So when people threatened me, now I'm a spiteful bitch.
And that's how I feel after they started threatening me before I actually even released anything. I was like, okay.
Well, here's the thing. I was told, and I don't have the screenshots in front of me and I don't have the timestamp, so I don't know if it's actually true or not. But I was told that they were talking about suing me. I don't know if they were getting us confused again or they were truly thinking about thinking about suing me. However,
well, they kept thinking I was you. Like they were after you and was attacking me thinking I was you.
Well, here's the thing. They said they were going to sue me for what? That was the first question. For reading publicly available documents and giving my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, they just effed Bruce. But because they said that they were going to sue me or try to sue me or even made a passing comment about it, I was going back and forth on whether I wanted to actually file a bar complaint against Bruce for harassment and unethical behavior as far as what he did when he was trolling and doing all that bunch of stuff, and talking about my daughter. I was going back and forth because at the end of the day, he didn't really hurt my feelings because, one, you have to have feelings to hurt them. And two, he's a worthless piece of crap and a waste of oxygen. However, if they tried to sue me, who is the only lawyer that would take the case? Bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think any judge would look at a lawyer suing someone who's filing a bar complaint against them? So I wasn't going to do it. Yes, Unhung Hero. The judge would see that as retaliation. Therefore, by them even remotely bringing up the ability or the desire, whether they were confusing us or not, is not the point. They screwed Bubbles over because now I'm writing that complaint. Because of the fact that I was going to drop it and let it go because at the end of the day, did it harm my reputation? No. Was it stupid on his part to threaten somebody on the internet?
Yep.
Yeah. But at the same point, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go through the time and trouble when at the end of the day, I don't care about this person. But when they threatened to do that, whether they were confusing us or not, is not the point. But the only person that would take a lawsuit that frivolous is Bruce. So by them even remotely bringing up the idea of suing me, they fucked him over.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you were trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, I took a page from your book and I was like, I'm going to give the dude the benefit of the doubt. I need help. Like, I didn't know where to turn at the time. And at the time, I didn't have big boy's attention to be able to get big boy attorney help. So I was like, he's in the Facebook group. Let me ask him advice. And then he ended up in my DMs. And he thought he was going to sit there and talk bad about Mike and Spawn and all my friends because you guys covered it. Well, not taking that laying down.
Yeah.
So he got blocked and I released what he said about him.
It was just one of those things that, like, I was going to let it go because I'm trying to like, at the end of the day, was it wrong that what he did? Yes. At the end of the day, did he threaten me? Yes. But at the end of the day, it was an empty threat. So, like, it pissed me off, but did it actually affect my life? With the exception of a couple arguments in the Squid household, or not arguments, but disagreements on how to handle the situation.
Flash.
Yeah. I was taunting him in my email when I said if I would have known that you were going to share my emails, I would have written them. I would have made them more entertaining, grift worthy, shall you say. I knew he was going to read my fucking emails anyway. I wrote every email as if they were going to be read. Like, and
Right.
just, and I knew full out that they were going to share my emails. So was I. And that's why I gave them to Tug. Like, I knew going into that any communication that I have with anybody will expect to be shared. So, like, it was just one of those, like, it's just one of those things, like, it's just one of those, like, I knew going in, but the fleas inadvertently, one, made more content for me, and two, fucked over their friend, because now he's going to have a bar complaint because they fucked up. So if they would have just kept their mouth shut, I would have just let it go. But
I mean, I look at it that way too. If they'd have just left me alone, I would have never played the game.
mhm.
I'd have continued covering just the documents on the federal case or the thumbnail or the trespass 5. I would have left it just those documents. However, what I shared was not illegal or against the law because it was court documents that I released.
Present included. Like, I give my opinion on what's written in the documents. So when you write something stupid, I'm going to give my fucking opinion. I'm going to call it stupid. Yeah. If it isn't the consequences of their own actions. And I was talking to someone earlier. It was like, would I love for them to stop talking about me? Hell yes. However, when I get wind that they talked about me, it gives me license to make fun of them. Because they're stupid. They still can't come up with a fucking better name than stupid bitch. Like, honestly, you really think, like, stupid bitch is the most unoriginal fucking name ever. And they gave you the nickname that I gave them. So that's not original either. So part of me was hoping my troll attacker joined the server so I could destroy them. Am I wrong for that? Nope. Nope. Because they're lucky they aren't facing federal hate crime charges. And death threats. They gave death threats. And racially motivated comments. Yeah. There are some things where I'm like, the First Amendment, just because you can say something doesn't mean you should. Like, there's like stupid bitch from the woman who doesn't know, women who don't know what a gauntlet is. Gauntlet, guillotine, same thing. Oh, All right. Request 13 responded. Request 14 and 15 responded. Request 16, I honestly don't know what you're seeking here. Request 17, objections are valid, as all others are. 18, again, unclear, objectionable for reasons listed. 19, way too unspecific. Objection stands. See Exhibit 4. At the same time, defendants claim work product and attorney-client privilege as to 12 of the 20 RFPs, yet fail to follow Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 26B5A, Section 26B5A2. 2. I had to, go down the, 26B5A2. 2. 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 26B5A2 which requires the withholding party to describe the nature of the withheld documents in a manner that, without revealing information itself, privileged or protected, will enable other parties to assess the claim. Finally, defendants, in response to RFP 13, responded that there are no GPS records from either any automobile navigation system or any other mobile device sufficient to show the user's location on May 11th through May 14th of 2023. But unless defendants have already spoliated such records or disabled devices such as the Uconnect or other black boxes, which are installed on their vehicles and or mobile devices, that response is likely false. At a minimum, an inspection of the automobile should be permitted. As a result of these deficiencies, plaintiff engaged in an exchange of emails with the defendant in order to resolve these disputes. Hey, Gail.
Gail!
As shown, plaintiff has yet to receive any meaningful discovery unless otherwise limited by court order. Parties may obtain discovery regarding any non-privileged matter that is relevant to any party's claim or defense and proportional to the needs of the case. Information within this scope of discovery need not be admissible in evidence to be discoverable. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 26B1. Yeah. Another case from the Northern District of Florida. Relevance under Rule 26 has been construed broadly to encompass any matter that bears on or that reasonably could lead to other matter that could bear on any issue that is or may be in the case. See Oppenheimer Fund v. Sanders. Ooh, Oppenheimer Fund, think. Interesting. Mims v. Sanofi. Those are that case is from 2024, but this one's from 1978. They went really far back with that one.
Yeah, they did.
I read a document yesterday that I think went to like 1967 or 69. Night, Celine. Tammy, great second Christmas week at work. Been cooking all night. Finally sitting down. Ugh. Hey, Max. Ugh. Oh my goodness. All right, where was I? His citations. I get lost in the citations just because I'm not a lawyer, so they don't they don't roll off the tongue really easily, and I have to think about how to say it. That's why I skip it.
Which one?
Good evening. How far are we in? We got GPS yet? Because that's going to put a spanner in the works for Deucey Boy. We are on the first document. We're going through. We're getting there. We got a little derailed.
We're not too far.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this is repetitive on this one.
Yeah. As an initial matter, discovery should be broadly and liberally allowed. Citation omitted. I'm just going to skip all his citations and all his case law because I don't have the time to, one, we're not going to go look for the cases right now anyway. So I'll just say where they're from and move on.
Why not just read the titles and then go ahead and skip to the juicy stuff?
Yeah.
Because most of this on this one is all repetitive once you get to a certain page.
It is. Defendant's boilerplate objections must be overruled. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 34B2B.
B2B.
Provides that a response to a request for production must state with specificity the grounds for objecting to the request, including the reasons defendant's relevancy objections are inadequate since they fail to offer full, fair, specific explanation as to why the requested information or documents are not relevant. Instead, the objections merely note the same boilerplate objections in the general objections. There we go. You can take another drink. As shown, such boilerplate and or general objections are improper and constitute a waiver of any objection to discovery. Defendants have thus effectively waived any objections to the RFP and must be compelled to provide the requested discovery. Defendants have attempted to claim privilege, or claims of privilege are likewise deficient. When a party claims attorney-client privilege or work product protection, that party bears the burden of proof in invoking a privilege and establishing that it exists. Westchester Surplus Lines v. Portofino Masters Homeowners Association. Oh, gotta love those homeowners associations. Like the attorney-client privilege under Rule 26b3, the party asserting work product protection bears the burden of establishing its applicability to the case at hand. The party asserting work product protection must demonstrate the material at issue. 1 is a document or a tangible thing. 2, that was prepared in anticipation of litigation. And 3, was prepared by or for a party or by his representative. In practical terms, this means that the defendant must 1, expressly make the claim, and 2, describe the nature of the documents, communications, or tangible things not produced or disclosed, and do so in a manner that, without revealing information itself is privileged or protected, will enable other parties to assess the claim. Federal Rules Civil Procedure 26b5a 1 and 2. See also Guzman v. Ermadan, Inc. In some instances, if a party fails to provide proper privilege log, the attorney-client privilege and work product doctrine asserted will be deemed a nullity. Defendants assert attorney-client privilege and work product protection to every RFP, generally via general objections, and specifically to RFP numbers 1, 2, 4, 7, 9, 10, 12, 16, 18, and 20, yet have not provided any support for their claims of privilege. This means defendants have failed to make a prima facie showing that any information, and that's that Latin that I suck at. Any information in RFP numbers 1, blah, 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 is privileged and have waived any such asserted privilege. Defendant's production to date has been woefully deficient. Accordingly, this court must hold defendants to their obligations and compel them to provide complete, substantive responses to plaintiff's RFP, even after several attempts. Defendants' objections and responses are woefully deficient. See Exhibit 4. Clearly, defendants' responses to RFP demonstrate they are throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks. This should not be well taken.
That was my favorite part on this set. The spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah. It is, right? Like, it's just, yeah. Yes, this right here, the citing of a few of the magistrate involved in this case is brilliant by plaintiff's attorney. Yeah, it's submitting something to the judge going, see, this is what you yourself said. You know, it's like, you said this, and now they're doing this. Are you going to stick to your word, or are you going to are you going to go back on what you said? I made the mistake of trying to listen to the mac and cheese explanation. What am I supposed to hear that makes that so important? I have no idea. I haven't taken the time to actually. Okay. I think that's why I can't remember when people explain it to me, because I have a very hard time remembering something that I don't care about. I have to really be paying attention and care to remember. So I think that's why when people explain it to me, I can't remember it 2 days later. Sorry, y'all. When a court grants a motion to compel or the requested discovery is provided after the motion is filed, the requesting party is entitled to its costs, including reasonable attorney's fees, unless 1, the requesting party failed to make a good faith attempt to obtain the discovery without a court order, 2, the responding party's position was substantially justified, or 3, the other circumstances make an award of expenses unjust. FRCP 37A5A, plaintiff is entitled to his reasonable attorney's fees and costs because 1, Undersigned counsel participated in email exchanges with the defendant in an attempt to resolve the inadequate responses. 2, defendant's objections were not justified given the facts and applicable law. And 3, an award of attorney's fees and costs would not be unjust. Pursuant to the above, plaintiff but yeah, I'm not going to read that. We all know. You all know what all that says. And I'm going to skip the addresses and stuff. So here we go. First request for,
Most of this is the same thing as what we just read, I believe.
Yeah, and I'll skip it it's basically a court-ordered request for what he had already requested. Yeah, don't bother. It was boring and really bad. Cost typically won't be granted. However, this case has already annoyed the magistrate, so it's a flip of a coin. Yeah, and here's the thing, too. From Shochet's perspective, what is the worst that he could be told if he requests it? No. Better to request it and have it denied than not request it and the judge would have been open to it. It's just one of those things. All right. So this is the request. This is the instructions of what they want. This requires production of documents or things in your possession, custody, or control, and for documents or things that are in the possession, custody, or control of your agents, employees, accountants, attorneys, reps, and other persons who have documents deemed to be in your possession. Unless otherwise stated, all requests call for the production of all responsive documents prepared, received, or dated anytime prior, including the date of production. If any objection is made to any document request, the objection shall state with specificity on all grounds. All documents must be produced as they were kept in the usual course of business or must be organized and labeled to correspond to the categories of documents requested below. Gulf of America. Okay, side note. All this about Trump wanting to annex this and that in Canada, he's trolling y'all, right? Like, the people who are getting offended by it, if any of y'all might happen to watch this, that him saying that is a giant freaking troll. And the fact that y'all are offended plays right into his hand of showing how soft. You all are softer than baby shit. Hung Hero said that I was softer. I was 10-ply soft when it came to the cold because of living down here. Y'all are softer than baby shit if you're offended by a damn tweet. Like, we're probably gonna get a what's in our food supply. So, like, yeah, I like her on some things, and then sometimes I'm just like, bitch, shut your mouth. Like, I like her most of the time. I like her basis, like her core values. But sometimes it's like, you're going a little too extreme for me, Like, just sometimes, just one of those things of just because you can say something doesn't mean you should. She's a prime example. Sometimes it's better to, like let people wonder, like, say one thing and then let people oh, hell no. You keep that mofo to yourself. Send him to the UK. Let the king deal with him. Like, they have called him you-know-who for years. He's trolling the hell out of them now. Yeah. Yeah. And the funny thing is they can't see it. Like, his whole campaign, not to get uber political, but his whole campaign was a giant troll. Because Biden called Trump supporters trash. So what did he do when he went to Green Bay? He painted a Trump trash truck. Like, it's a giant troll. And the fact that people can't see that and they take everything, that is how people take life too seriously.
Mm-hmm. Trump is the ultimate troll. I want to grow up and be a troll like Trump.
It's so, I saw something on Twitter today and I'm like, somebody like, oh, he can't walk. He can't, because he's riding in a golf cart on his golf course. And they were like, Well, why can't he ever walk when he, I'm sorry, and my comment was not quoting it, but it was something of like, tell me you don't know golf without telling me. Mar-a-Lago is a PGA style course, and if you ever been on a PGA style course, they require golf carts. There is for those of you, my Wisconsin people, you guys know Whistling Straits. Whistling Straits held the PGA Open. It held tour events, and it is to play a round of golf at Whistling Straits is at least $1,000 day, because at the time when I was looking into playing there, green fees were $500 to $600, and then a cart and caddy are required. You are not allowed to walk that course because of the size. It is not about not having the energy or being too fat to walk the course. It is called you are going to hold up the people behind you because it is a very large course. And if you hold up the people behind you, you cost the club money. I live an hour from Augusta National. Not that I can actually get in there, but they require golf carts. That is one of the reasons that Augusta is huge for golf cart manufacturing, because of Augusta. So just because he is on his golf course on a golf cart, I can guarantee you that his golf course requires a golf cart. You are not allowed by the club rules to walk the course because you are wasting people's time. FYI. It's like, tell me you don't know anything about golf without telling me. It's funny that people don't know anything about certain topics, yet feel the need to think they're experts. I'm like, I'm sorry, I've looked into playing a PGA Tour course. My friend wanted me to play one before I moved, and he was like, you got $1,000 to drop on one day of golf? Yeah, no delays. No delays, because you hold up.
Spawn's comments.
We already have one idiot we need to deal with. Don't need a French talking one as well.
Oh, that was great.
But it was, yeah, like this. That's right. No delays allowed. It's like, tell me you don't know anything about what you're talking about without telling me. But then these people sit and act like experts, like they know everything about everything. Oh, Trump's fat. He can't walk the course. No, his course rules say you can't walk the course because you're going to hold up. Yeah, you ever play behind walkers? They slow as hell. The only place where you can play behind walkers and it's okay is a par 3 course, because it's a par 3 course. Just saying. And right now, a par 3 course might take me about 6 hours. Not even gonna lie. My sister-in-law said we can go golfing, and I'm like, can we go to a driving range first? Because my golf clubs have a layer of dust on them, that thick. Because my golf clubs haven't moved since I lived here. Like, so, it's one of those things of like, tell me you don't know what you're telling. But that equates to everything in life. You have people who think they are experts in things that have no idea what the hell they're talking about. But they convince a bunch of other ignorant people that they know what they're talking about. So these ignorant people now become even more ignorant because they think somebody's an expert. On the internet, you're probably arguing with a bot, a virgin's mom in a basement, or yep. Play behind walkers only when filming an episode of The Walking Dead. All right. Anyway. All documents must be produced as they are kept in the usual course of business, or must be organized and labeled to correspond to the categories of documents requested. If any information requested below is withheld based on a claim that is privileged or otherwise protected, you are requested to furnish a list specifying each document for which the privilege is claimed, together with the following information where appropriate with respect to each such document: the date appearing, or the date it was prepared, the name of the persons by whom the document was prepared, and if the document is signed, the name of each person who signed it, the name of each person whom the document is addressed, the name of each person other than the address identified in C above to whom the document or a copy thereof was sent, the name of the person or persons who currently have custody of the document, the specified grounds on which the claim of privilege rests, the paragraph or subparagraph of this request to which each document responds, the general nature of the document, number of pages which consists, and a sufficient description of the subject matter, without disclosing its contents, to allow its description to the court for a ruling on the claim of privilege. As to any request that is claimed to be overbroad or seek to irrelevant documents, please indicate whether any responsive documents or subcategory of responsive documents are conceded to be discoverable, and identify the documents or subcategory of the documents that will be produced. I feel like I'm reading the fine print. You know what I mean? Like when like when you're watching a commercial and you hear blah, 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 blah. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now.
That's exactly how it felt for me earlier.
No one is an expert. Tell that to the expert.
That part. Our little squirrel. I love how when he'll be in like mid-sentence and then squirrel off to a whole nother conversation into a whole nother world.
Yeah, I haven't been on his channel in a while. I miss that. I don't get invites anymore. As to any request that is claimed to be unduly burdensome, expensive, or oppressive, to which a similar objection is asserted, please provide the following information: the approximate number and volume of responsive documents, the location and manner in which the documents are maintained, any particular or unusual burden or effort required to produce the responsive documents, an estimated cost of producing the responsive documents, and any other facts to which you rely on to support of your claim of that production of responsive documents is unduly burdensome, costly, or difficult. For any of the requested documents that are no longer in existence or which cannot be located, identify and describe the document as completely as possible. State when and how the document passed out of existence or why it can no longer be located. State whether the document was lost, destroyed, discarded, or provided to a third party. Identify any such third party. Identify each person having knowledge concerning such document, and state any additional information that you have concerning the document's current whereabouts. Any document bearing any marks, including but not limited to initials, stamped indicia, CCs, comments, or notations not a part of the original text or photographic reproduction thereof, is a separate document to be produced. Now I really feel like I'm like in a car commercial, like reading the fine print. Someone told me Trump was trying to start a war. I told them to show me where he said that, and they called me dumb. That's how you know that you're dealing with someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. Because people who know what they're talking about can provide receipts. Or at least can guide you in a general direction of where they heard it from. Like, they might not know everything about it, but they might say, I heard it here, or this person said it, or I saw it on Twitter. When someone just calls you a name, they have no idea what they're talking about. So if anybody just calls you a name right off the bat, they don't know what they're talking about. FYI. Just my opinion, though. Whenever a document is not produced in full, state with particularity the reasons or reasons why it was not produced in full, and describe to the best of your knowledge, information, or belief, and with as much particularity as possible, these portions of the document that are not produced, including the content or substance of the content thereof. File folders are to be produced intact with the documents. Documents attached to each other should not be separated. Computerized information, electronic records, are to be produced to an intelligible and readable format, and are to be accompanied by a description of the system from which they were obtained. I like this because literally he's being specific. So there is no like, he's being specific in what he wants. So Bubbles can't come back and be like, well, you didn't tell me exactly what you wanted. He's laying it right out.
If you remember reading the responses, he still said he didn't understand what the hell Randy was asking for. We're reading it, and it's pretty freaking obvious what he was asking for.
Oh, yeah. Words in the singular, including their plural meanings, and vice versa. The conjunction and the disjunction or shall be individually interpreted in every instance as meaning and/or, and shall not be interpreted to exclude any information otherwise within the scope of the request. Each pronoun shall include the masculine, feminine, neutral, singular, and plural as required by the context in which it's used, and shall not be interpreted to exclude any information otherwise within the scope of the request. And then he goes into definitions, which we are not going to get into, because if you want to read what he sees these document or definitions are, this will be posted on my
Oh, this is where it's getting into the request.
yeah.
This
RFP number 1, all documents and communications relating to any allegations in this matter. And you know what this just reminds me of? When you write a FOIA request, you have to be super specific on what you want. So when I can't see it being any different from when you do a discovery request. You have to be very specific on what you want. So, oof. All documents.
Your jaw's got to be sore by now.
I'm good. I read 26 pages of a document yesterday. Like, so I'm good.
You good?
I've gotten used to this. All documents and communications relating to any allegations in this matter, including but not limited to all communications you have had with any person or entity named in the complaint or named in the plaintiff's response in opposition to your motion for summary judgment, including all exhibits there attached thereto. My dyslexia. 2, all documents and communications relating to plaintiff by name or otherwise that you have had. I like how he capitalizes you. With any person or entity, including without limitation the following people: Russell Meeks, your co-defendant, Marla Hughes, Melissa Lemmerman. Oh, I like how he added that. Marla Hughes, Melissa Lemmerman, plaintiff, Jeremy Hales, Therese Granger, Martha Risk, Stephen Granger, Amanda Martin, Rhett Cunningham, Meredith Groot, all these people. More people. And if you want to read individual people, Flash Fan, can you drop a link to the Discord? It's only Trump and his supporters that think that. To be clear, it was Canadians that gave him the boot out the door. Freedom convoy, not Trump. Trump was the beginning of the end. I think it's both. I hope you keep politics off the screen. Not good for your channel. I do specific topics that are politics, but my political streams generally are comparing what the media says with what actually happened, showing how the media lies to you. I was fact checking political ads on both sides. I don't discriminate. I fact check everybody. And I call bullshit out where I see it on both sides. It doesn't, and what the government is doing to make us unhealthy, what is in our food, what the government allows to be in our food, and why our healthcare system sucks, and why FEMA sucks. So it's not so much a left versus right thing. It's more of the government just sucks, and this is why.
Exactly.
Like it's generally never even though you can tell which way I lean politically, I'm open about that, but ask Flash Fan. Flash Fan and I watched the RNC together. If you look at us on paper, Flash Fan and I are completely opposite. I'm getting older, he's still young, male, female, black, white. On paper, we should not have anything in common. And yet, here he was watching things with me, asking questions about things, and we have a conversation.
Flash, we don't just put up with you, we love you.
Yeah. Flash, you're my little brother. So, that's where my political streams are, is the government, like people suck, people lie, government lies, media lies.
Yeah, it's more us against the government, not us against each side. It has
Yeah.
just
I
because
don't do
we
the
lean
me
more
versus
one way.
you. I do an us versus them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
we lean towards one side, it doesn't mean we have any hatred towards the other.
Yeah. It's a government sucks thing, no matter who's in power. They are out to fleece us and line their own pockets. That's yeah.
The
So
government,
we read bills. So when I hear, so I've done things where like, and Flash fan is a lot of the motivation for this, just because he is so young. He's still in his 20s. Like, to me, that's young. So not to, you know, point you out, Flash fan, but he'll ask me a question and I'll be like, I really don't know. I've heard this, I've heard this. So I take an article of talking about a bill, um, and what the media says is in the bill, or this side is not helping, or this side is, Republicans denied this bill that to help so and so, or Democrats voted against this bill that was supposed to help so and so. And I figured, like, what aren't they telling us? Like, what else is in this bill that made people not like it? Because I'm pretty sure helping kids with cancer, and you have certain people voting against that, I'm pretty sure that the topic of the main topic of the bill was not the reason that it was voted against. There's something in there that that a lot of people did not like, and they could not come to an agreement on getting rid of that or adding something else. So it's we read the actual bills because I like receipts and I like to know what's going on. I don't just blindly believe stuff. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And that's what we do. But I will also take the same topic and look up different different media outlets and see how the same topic is covered across a wide variety of things, and what certain outlets tell you and what certain outlets don't tell you. And certain outlets link the video clip and certain outlets don't link the video clip, kind of thing. So it's like we look at, like, it's not what the world is telling you and the media is telling you, it's what they're leaving out. That is always an interesting thing to me. But yes, I do read a lot of the a lot of the bills. And that's generally a Thursday night stream. Once again, it's not one of my most popular streams, but at the same time, I think it's one of the most important, because it is something we all need to pay attention to and not blindly believe people because we've trusted them before. I don't trust nobody. I don't trust anybody. So it's trust but verify. So I'll take your word for it, but I will investigate for myself. So just that kind of a thing. But yes, Jeff, I do read some legislation. Right now, I've been on a tear of Make America Healthy Again and what that actually means. Because I've heard in the media that RFK wants to do this, RFK wants to do this, RFK wants to do, well, let's figure out two-party system is ass. Yes, and I'm in the thing of, like, if nobody likes you on either side, that's who I'm voting for. Because if nobody likes you, you must be doing something right. So Squid hates the media. She don't even trust court TV. No, I don't. I don't.
I damn sure don't trust mainstream media.
And court TV, no offense, I don't trust Law and Crime either. So just to not single out court TV. I don't like Law and Crime either. So All right. Number 4, all documents and communications concerning the steps you have taken to preserve documents and communications relevant to this lawsuit, including the documents and communications responsive to these requests. 5, all phone records sufficient to show all phone numbers and providers you used during relevant time periods, and all documents, including mobile phone billing records, showing the calls you made or received during the relevant time period relating to the allegations in the complaint or the plaintiff's response in opposition to your motion for summary judgment. All documents and communications which you are aware of that refute any statement attributed to you in the complaint or the plaintiff's response in opposition. I don't hate super chats. I saw your super chat. You're the only person who super chatted me tonight. Only person. Ungung Hero, thank you for the $2 super chat on paper, unbreaded. Oh, I missed that. I missed those unbreaded sections.
You're taking all his breadsticks tonight.
Baby Squid Banana Fund.
Yeah. Okay, we're taking all these bananas.
Yeah. I had to stop the stream earlier today. Well, I had to let Brad take over for a little bit because I had to go get her a banana. Flash fan, they said the world was going to end in 1978 from we were going to go into a freeze, like an ice age. So Walter Cronkite. What is sad is I'm old enough to remember when the media actually reported just the facts and let us make up our own minds. And see, that's what I want to that's what I want to do, is like, I just give you the facts, the actual facts, and not what's spun in the media, and let people decide for what they want. Sometimes you'll agree with me, sometimes you won't. Okay. Like, all documents and communications sufficiently to identify usernames, handles, aliases, or any other identifier you have ever used on social media to publish information about the plaintiff by name or otherwise. I have information for you, Randy. But I heard that somebody told me that you can't trace an IP address. And also, Edward R. Murrow. Yes, and that is why there is I do not know exactly who that was. However, I do know that there is a journalism award, the Edward R. Murrow Award, in his honor. So, and it's given to TV stations and or individuals from across the country. Yeah. I partied like it was 1999. Yeah. The millennial virus. Yep. And guess what? 12/01, 2000, January 1st, 2000, everything was just fine. And then don't forget the world was going to end in 2012.
Right.
The Mayan calendar. So, December 21st, 2012. So, documents and communications you have produced to Levy County, Florida, and to any other federal or state governmental agency about the plaintiff. All engagement letters and invoices and documents otherwise sufficiently to identify all of the attorneys with whom you have an attorney-client relationship in connection with any civil litigations in which you are the party, and or any civil, criminal litigation, grand jury testimony, and other state or federal investigations relating to the plaintiff. All documents, he's pretty specific with every single one of these. All documents and communications upon which you plan to rely on to assert the existence of any privileges, including attorney-client and work product and common interest privileges. Documents sufficient to show the number of online views and or impressions of any post of any social media accounts, including but not limited to YouTube accounts, Rumble accounts, Twitter accounts, and Facebook accounts during the relevant time period. Mobile phone records sufficient to show all phone numbers and providers you used between January 1st, 2021 to date, and all documents, including mobile phone billing records showing the calls you made or received between January 1st, 2021 to date relating to the plaintiff by name or otherwise. GPS records from either any automobile navigation system or other mobile device sufficient to show your location on May 11th through May 14th, 2023. All documents relating to any claim referenced in this lawsuit generated by, prepared for, or reviewed by consulting expert who is not designated to testify in the trial of this matter whose opinions or reports have been reviewed or relied upon by experts who may testify at the trial of this matter. The curriculum, and this is another vitae, including bibliography for each consulting expert who is not designated to testify at the trial of this matter and whose opinion or reports have been reviewed or relied upon by experts who may testify at the trial of this matter. All documents used by you for the purpose of refreshing the recollection of any witness prior to testifying at any hearing, deposition, or trial of this matter. For each fact or lay witness, you expect to testify at the trial of this matter, and all documents reviewed by, prepared by, relied upon, provided to, or received from each such witness is relevant to this matter. All documents evidencing communications related to your investigation of any claim referenced in this lawsuit. All documents relating to the plaintiff that you obtained from any source other than the plaintiff. All documents in the files of your attorney in this lawsuit dated before the date that this complaint was filed with this court relating to plaintiff, including without limitations communications to third parties. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. See a pattern yet? Oh, acid rain. Yeah. Then it changed to an ice age. Global warming was going to melt. I heard today, or I saw a headline on Twitter, which God help us all, that global warming was causing the snowstorms this year.
That's what they said. How does warming create snow?
And guess what? The ice age a couple thousand years ago, like the earth is constantly changing. Like constantly changing. With or without our input, it is changing.
Mm-hmm.
Do we impact it? Possibly. But like it's changing whether we like it or not. Like
exactly.
Like I'm sorry, and the industrial age has only been the last 200 years. So what explains the rest of it? Oh wait, that's just the way the earth works. Like yeah. Acid rain was still a thing when I was a child in the 80s and early 90s. I clearly remember PSA commercials shown with Saturday morning cartoons about acid rain gave me nightmares. Yeah, I remember like 6th grade science class hearing all about acid rain and being so freaked out. So, yeah. Greenland ice study proved we're one of the most stable climate periods in millennia. Yeah. Yeah. Government used all those things to fleece people with more taxes to fix the problem. I'm sorry, when has the government fixed anything? They generally just create more problems. So, oh, hey, Harry. Oh, acid rain. Yeah, Flashman, you need to Google acid rain. It was all a thing when I was a kid.
Yeah. They're trying to bring that back now. Oh, and snow styrofoam now.
Fun.
Do you get on TikTok at all?
Sometimes. Mostly to just look at ridiculous crap that I show on my Sunday night streams.
The conspiracies are wild on TikTok. Right now the snow up north it looks and feels like styrofoam.
I should ask my dad. Or Unghung Hero. Unghung Hero, go outside and see if the snow feels like styrofoam. So, yeah. Acid rain and holes in the ozone. They traumatized an entire generation. No wonder Gen Xers are so messed up. Okay, so
don't forget Final Destination.
So I saw something on Twitter or Facebook or something about like this new generation, and then like it was a reel on Instagram, and it was like a mom like checking on her baby, what she expects when she says, hey, tells the dad to go check on a baby versus what actually happens. And like somebody commented, like it's not safe to leave a baby on a bed like that, even though there was literally somebody recording like less than 3 feet away. And the response was, "You're a Gen X, you're a said you're Gen X. You're said something about you had to be reminded every night that you had kids. Like, you might want to sit this one out." I was like, you know what? That's perfect. Like, it's like your generation had to be reminded that you even had kids, so you really might want to sit this one out. Like, that was the perfect response.
Al Walker's got a good one about Reagan when he said hi, when he was telling us that that
when Reagan was president, he said, "Be afraid when the government comes and says we're from the government and we're here to help." Yeah, those are the what 9 most dangerous words. We're from the government and we're here to help.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are at? I remember that when I was little. Like, yeah, it's like y'all had to be reminded that you had kids. Like, you're parenting, like I used when my mother-in-law would give me parenting advice, because she thinks she's like she had to be reminded when baby Squid was super little. She had to be reminded when we actually still talk to her that she is not baby Squid's mother. Like, we actually had to tell her that.
Sounds like my ex-stepmom.
Yeah, the wicked bitch of the South.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I that's what I call her, among other things, but, it was, it was one of those things of, like, I was like, "Lady, I live with the product of your parenting. I think I will pass." Just saying.
Or their favorite go-to is, put that baby down, quit holding it all the time. You're gonna spoil it from holding it.
Yeah.
When it cries.
Like, yeah. Hung Hero, thanks for the $2 super chat. You are still the only person who has super chatted me tonight, by the way. It's 18 degrees. I'm in boxers. Sure, let me go check. Well, you know.
You're in boxers, you say.
Squid, that is sad. She had really interesting plans. Yeah, she would play dress up with her. She had an entire wardrobe over there. It was more like a co-parenting relationship than a grandparent relationship.
Oh my God, yes. I thought I was the only one that had to deal with that.
Well, and the thing is like, I love my parents dearly, but they are not perfect parents either. But my parents, when they would give us advice, would be like, "This is what worked for us, but everybody's different." They came at it from my dad was like, "I could tell you what we did with you, but I haven't raised a baby in 39 years." Or, at the time, 37 years. So,
That's
like,
how Dad was.
yeah, my dad was like, "You can ask me a question and I'll tell you what we did, but just because we did it and it worked for us doesn't mean it's going to work for you."
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, his mom was like, her way or the highway. Like, she knew more than everybody else. So, yeah. Like, just left Tug jumping between you and Shizzy. Tell Shizzy I said hi. Oh, thanks, Harry, for the $5 super chat. We appreciate you, Squid. Like, I appreciate that. This little project of mine. Like, this started as a like, no one's gonna subscribe to my channel. Why would anybody give a crap what I have to say? And then, like,
right,
2,900 and some odd subscribers later, it's like, well, and sometimes I'm still like, nobody cares what I have to say, because some streams I only get like 10 people, and then other streams I get like 200 people. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just wish, like, this is one of the only it wasn't grifting, it was a fact. It's not grifting if it's a fact. Literally, you were the only person who super chatted me. That is not a grift. That is a fact. Like, and Harry, I appreciate your super chat. I really do. But up until this point, in an hour and 48 minutes, Hung Hero has been the only person to super chat me. It's been more than one super chat, but he has been the only person to super chat me. So, like, it was not a grift if it's a fact. Like, it was just a fact.
I'm still focused on the boxers comment. Listen, I gotta bring in some kappa.
20. Yeah, and Gail, and sometimes I feel like it's only like 15 because they're the same people over and over again. I swear I don't know if I have bots or like alt accounts or something, but like, not everybody is Yeah.
Gil, Georgie, don't start. Listen, I didn't unhung Heroes when it said he was in his boxers.
And Sir Frank Otter, like, no worries. Like, it's not like Megan says, don't send ramen money. If you can afford Starbucks every day, send me some Starbucks money. But don't send me like, your ramen or your your bread money. Like, no. I know they say breadstick money, but it's like if you're scraping together money to buy a loaf of bread and some milk, that is not the appropriate time, or would I ever want somebody, if that's the kind of, situation you're in, do not feel obligated. It's just, if you can afford Starbucks every day while you're driving your brand new, like, you know, Lincoln Navigator, then it's like, okay, send me some of that Starbucks money, like, but it's we're working on it. Sometimes I feel like super, and I'm not to say that I don't feel supported, but like sometimes it's like some streams get so many, and then the streams where I really want people to pay attention to, it's like I know they're not the most interesting things to talk about, but like they're some of the most important, like the food situation. Like, it's not the most fun stream and it's not gossipy, but it's one of the things that I feel is like the most important thing I could talk about on a stream. If I have a platform, that's what I'm going to do. I'm kind of going to bring attention to the crap. So, it's kind of one of those things. We can't afford crap till after we pay off our furnace. We just had to replace, but my bank has a ban on payments to YouTube itself. We have to go through PayPal. That's interesting that your bank won't do it. And my bank won't connect, or one of my banks won't protect or won't connect to Venmo. So it's weird that Venmo won't work with one of my banks, and Venmo is like my preferred way to go for anything. Like if someone's like, "Oh, you can Cash App Venmo or whatever me," I'm like, "Let's Venmo." Like I trust Venmo, and it's more user friendly than Cash App or PayPal to me. So, and thanks Harry for the $10 super chat. Banana money for Little Squid. She was on earlier stream just hanging out back here, and she handed me her banana. Like, we still haven't figured out how to peel. Thanks, Ungung for the $2 super chat. I think you owe us a clove. Hold on, let me check. Let me check to make sure. I'm going to fact check you right now, my friend. Yeah, Sir Frank Otter, you remember that is support, and that is. And because I need to do more members content. I really do. I need to make the fact that you purchased a membership worth it. Like,
I have a question. Does
yes.
StreamYard tell you how much you get in super chats, or is it Studio?
Studio.
So it tells you per stream, or it just lumps it all together?
So what you have to do is you go into content, you click on, just like if you were to go to redirect.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't go to redirect, like you don't click on the name of the stream. When you go down and you see the little details.
So the little dots?
Yeah, it's next to the dots. It's control room. And that's where you can pop out the chat. But it also shows you like how many viewers you have, how many likes you have, how much chat revenue. Yes, and I do owe you a clove. Oh, here we go. For every $25 in super chats, I'm eating one of these super spicy. I mean, they smell so good.
Oh, I'm sure they smell amazing, but
and they taste really good too. They do taste really good.
I have enough stomach.
It's when I get down to the bottom of the bag that I'm not looking forward to, because you see all those ones just sitting in those spices. That is what I'm not looking forward to.
Just marinating in all of that.
Yep. So we're gonna. Last time I had to do 2 at once. So here.
Exactly, Harry.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure people with a few 100,000 subscribers, make you know.
You got to think though, they got to turn around and pay out more taxes to the federal government out at the end of each year for the super chats and ad money and shit they make.
Yeah, I think YouTube takes taxes out too, but I'm not sure.
Roman Atwood put up a video yesterday, and it was very interesting for us creators to learn that he wrote a $2 million check off of what he made on YouTube last year.
Yeah, it's
$2
like
million in tax.
Yeah, everybody's got to get their cut. All right, let's get back into this.
Exactly, unhung. We get a 1099.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually a W-9, but yeah, same thing.
You're basically a contractor. Like, if any information requested below is withheld based on a claim that is privileged or otherwise protected from disclosure, we're requesting to furnish a list specifying each document what their privilege is claimed, together with the following information where appropriate with respect to each such document: the date, the name of each person whom the document is addressed, the name and other than addresses identified in C to whom the document or a copy thereof was sent. And I'm paraphrasing some of these because they're repetitive. The name of the person or persons currently have custody, specified grounds on which the claim of privilege exists, the paragraph or subparagraph to which the request each document responds. And the hardest part about those freaking garlic cloves is talking. Because now it's like, you know what I mean? Like when you eat something spicy and then you have to like function. The general nature of the document, number of pages, sufficient description of the subject matter, to allow its description to the court for a ruling on the claim of privilege. I don't drink milk, Flash fan. I don't like milk. I like cheese. I do not like milk. As to any request that is claimed to be overbroad or seeker relevant, that one's, we've already read that. A lot of this is repetitive. But he has to be repetitive because otherwise dipshit dinkle,
File folders are to be produced intact with the documents.
Documents attached to each other should not be separated. Computerized information or electronic records to be produced in an intelligible and readable format. And then more definitions. Yep. And then he goes to the pronouns, which we've read.
I don't have any pronouns, damn it.
My pronouns are F and U.
That too.
Like, okay, Flash fan, I lied. I do like a good chocolate milk every now and then. But it has to be Fairlife because it's thicker for some reason. It's thicker.
Purity is better.
Yeah, it's thicker, but it's not as sweet. Squid identifies as calamari.
The Purity chocolate milk, in my opinion, is thicker and less sweet than the others.
I like Fairlife. Requests, more requests. And these documents will be placed on the Discord server. All these names, if you want to read them, you can read them. I am not going to read them because they're the same ones as before.
We already know all the players in the game. They're who's listed.
Yeah, and I'm sure I don't know half of these people.
Move. That certain name we were trying to cover up is right there.
Yeah, but one of these people showed up on my people you may know on Facebook, by the way.
Stupid Dave.
Yep. Yeah.
How about this?
I'll see myself out.
Listen, as a young child, I truly believed that white cows made white milk, brown cows made chocolate milk, and I would look at my dad and go, where does strawberry milk come from? There's no pink cows, Dad.
Oh. Why would you have milk when you drink? That is one bad habit I don't have. I don't like soda. Every once in a while, when I need something super sweet and I know that I shouldn't be having something sweet, I'll have a can of Coke. But like, I don't. But
My
Flash
Cokes-
Man, it was a genuine question when I was little because cattle, like cattle used for beef, is brown generally, and when I was
Exactly,
little,
Frank.
you look and pink dancing cows from the Got Milk ads.
Exactly.
Consider your Thomas Collins made a video since. Ooh, interesting. Oh, so Sunday night on my stream, I went over a dispute I had with someone on Twitter, and the person's name that was involved was Thomas Collins. It's not the same TC.
Really?
But it is not. This guy is from Texas.
Oh,
Like, yeah.
I thought it was.
And like we ended up like starting off rough, but like turning out civilly. And it
Because
was
you
like
thought
one
you
of
was
those.
arguing with that one, didn't you?
Yeah, that's who I thought it was because when I first saw that name, like I still don't know everything that dude is involved in, and I still don't care. But like I know the name. Yeah, they called me Mafia or a Mafia wannabe because I said I don't play well with others.
That made sense.
Yeah, didn't it?
Yeah, I remember you sending me that screenshot, and I was like, "Is that him?"
It wasn't, but that's what I woke up to that Sunday morning. Checked my phone. That's what I saw. So this is yet again more of the same requests. All documents related to any statement attributed to you, all documents and communications concerning the steps you've taken. I'm not repeating all of these because they are the same.
You already read about the GPS and the phone records?
Yep.
The GPS records right there.
GPS records from any automobile. I believe this is going into 1 and 2. Like defendant 1 and defendant 2. So it's literally the same thing for both people. So. What? No.
Wait, what?
No, don't even. Don't engage. Like, don't engage.
It's tempting. So
Don't engage. I know. Don't engage.
I just realized he spelled it wrong.
Yeah. Don't engage. Like,
I want to so bad.
You know why they sell almond milk? Because no one would buy it if they sold it as nut juice.
I want to know where the tit is on an almond. Can anybody tell me where the tit is on the damn nut?
How do you milk an almond? Like, how do you milk an almond?
I know how, but still, where's the tit?
Like, you want to know how stupid I am? I never turned on monetization for this video.
Can you not do it while you're live?
I can, and I did, but it's like I didn't beforehand. Oh, damn. So sorry if y'all get an ad. I'm sorry, but mama gotta make money. I have to support the banana fund. And it's not much, but it definitely helps because right now I live 45 minutes away from a Walmart. So like think of the gas money that I have to spend on a daily basis. And I need to get an oil change in my car. Yeah, Hung Hero, you broke the stream. It's all your fault. Like, it's all your fault. Blame Hung Hero. So, doop. Okay, I fixed it. It's fixed. I didn't break it. YouTube Premium. Yeah, YouTube Premium is probably the best purchase I've ever made in my life. Like, yeah, not gonna lie. Yeah, you have. Well, you haven't gotten an ad yet because I forgot to turn on monetization.
Hey, living.
Yeah. Hey.
Jam.
Anyway, I breathed wrong.
Tell your husband to back up a couple inches. It wouldn't choke.
Not even gonna respond to that. Yeah. Blame Hung Hero instead of Jeremy. Or blame Brad. We always blame Brad. Sorry. No. Yes, we did, but I will not say it unless it's a super chat. So, yeah. And Hung Hero took care of that twice. So, there's that. Hoi. Alrighty. Then we have a good old Defendant Lynette Preston's response to plaintiff's document request. General objection to each discovery request on the ground and extent that each request and that the definitions and instructions contained therein are vague or ambiguous. And this is the same thing as before. So, tell the husband only hath, H-A-T-H, chicken, if you don't want to choke. I did monetize the stream, and I'm pretty sure that's why my Sunday night stream has limited ads now, because they literally said that. They made me say it like 40 freaking times.
They're giving you hell tonight.
What was that name again, Squid? Hath. H-A-T-H. Chicken.
You're going to change it now.
Like Gamecock? It's Hathcock. Hugh Hathcock. He's the owner of Velocity Automotive. And he's full. It's just funny, Georgie. The NCAA lawsuit, or the college football lawsuit that I'm following right now, is in the same district as this one.
Wow.
So it's a different judge. But wouldn't that be something if it was the same judge? Squid Ace when I have a night off.
I want you to come over to my chat and rile up everybody, because that would be great. Especially in the mornings, because I love when they get Coop riled up.
He makes people leave sometimes, though. Like,
oh, I mean, tonight I couldn't keep up with my chat. So
well, that's the thing about having a 200 to 300 person chat. Like, one time there was like 600 people in this chat, and I'm like, I love y'all, every single one of you, for being here. But like, part of the fun I have with YouTube is keeping up with the chat.
That's
and letting the chat derail me.
Yeah.
And like, that's one of the reasons I do specific streams where I just talk about I just talk to chat, because I'm like, that way the rest of my streams, when I actually have to get through something, tonight it's 11:30, so like, I'm up past my bedtime, but like, I wanted to talk about these, so I have a friend whose last name is Cockrium.
Cockrium?
Cockrium?
That would suck to be your name.
I mean, I would probably change it, but at the same time, y'all see what chat does to me, and even saying that word. So, could you imagine if I was a South Carolina fan?
Oh boy.
Yeah. Like, they would lose it. Because I have a bunch of 12-year-old boys in my chat. Because Squid rocks. I try. I don't know why people think that, because I'm just me and hilarious, and chat derails me, and Flash fan. Okay, this is a military reference, but in the Navy we have ratings. I was an AT. Mr. Squid was an AO. There's IT, and then IT, information technology, well, and then there was IC, which is an internal communications is the what it stands for. Well, we also went by like your rating and then your rank. So it was like IC3 was a third petty officer third class, IC2 second class. Well, there was an IC on the ship that I was on, and it was IC2 and his last name was Ball. I shit you not. It was IC2 Ball.
Oh shit! Tammy,
bet
my
you
mother's
couldn't-
initials growing up were BS, got married, and it became BO. That would suck.
I said the name earlier, but
My little sister, all her life, her initials spelled Saw, SAW. But she got married and now it's Sal.
I mean,
Could be worse, much worse, but
I knew somebody that's name or initials were ARG, like ARH.
I have basic ass initials, just KLG.
Sorry, I'm not saying my initials. Yeah, we are 12-year-olds, but we never lost the humor of 8-year-olds. I said this on my stream earlier. Somehow we got to talking about names, but when I was going through basic training, everybody was a seaman. This is where you can make fun of the Navy. But there was a woman or a girl, she was 18. Everybody made fun of her because her last name was Spitz. Seaman Spitz.
So she hot tool on that thing, huh?
She was the original Haktua girl. I mean,
Where did the stream just go? Living, do living.
I don't know what happened to that girl. Like I only heard about this I actually heard about it from my RDCs. We weren't supposed to know about it. We overheard their conversation when they were laughing at it. And it was like, if your RDCs are laughing at it, you're going to have a rough time. This is what happens when
And then you pair her with me, who has also not had any sleep.
Mom life. Like, I literally tried to go to sleep last night at 8 o'clock. I'm like, okay, I'm going to fall asleep next to this little girl. Like, I'm sure I will wake up at like 2:45 when Mr. Squid wakes up for work. And I'm like, I could not fall asleep till midnight. Is that like being a smartass is better than being a dumbass?
Said I bet she didn't swallow.
Y'all are gonna get me demonetized. Y'all be good.
You started it. This time you derailed yourself.
Not like that.
You brought up semen spit.
Roy.
Oh boy. This dream took a whole different turn.
Ooh, hey Tammy, how are you? The other Tammy. Hey Cynthia.
YMCA in the Navy. Laura always comes to mind. Do we get twins from swallowing? I'm just curious.
You have to date her or she'll have the babies.
Hello to the Tammys.
Oh. I'll need bail money by the time that this stream is over. So I know a person who went from SAT to SAC to SAT to almost ST. But so sad. There's 17 Tammys in chat. I usually only get 3.
I've been collecting Lindas lately.
Lindas are fun too.
Lindas are great.
I swallowed twice for twins.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm taking a shower after this stream.
Jesus.
The mom bladder.
All right. Anyway.
Sheila, everyone likes a little ass once in a while, but nobody likes a smart ass.
Okay. This is basically going into what the objections were. Oh my god. Okay. I just can't, y'all. Spitters are quitters. Drop me. Just don't call us Karen. All right, y'all broke me.
You broke yourself.
No, I didn't.
You said it. The chat just made it funnier. That's okay. I was rating it as Bag Nation earlier, so there's that.
Hey, DW, I'm sorry you came into this. You just walked into a shit show. We need to get my channel going. All I have you guys ordering those pee-pads. Anyone else notice the chat went from talking about bubbles to talking about I'm sorry. Oopsie.
What said this is how midnight squid is?
It's all Georgie's fault.
It's not Georgie's fault at all. I wasn't.
It's Unhung Hero's fault. Can we get back to politics? I'm sorry, it's me.
You know, I'm used to this behavior with Mike, but not with you.
Always my fault. Hold on, I have to see if my stream got demonetized yet.
Probably.
Not quite.
Well, Bubbles would call spitting without any swallowing. I can't even take a drink. It's Brett's fault.
Georgie, you're a bad influence.
Don't blame me. She said it first.
All right. It's me. This comment makes me laugh so much.
I mean, we're talking about spit swallowing. We might as well bring Trump up.
Because it's me was the one who was like, don't talk about politics. Like, don't do political streams. It's bad for your channel. And I'm like,
Listen, when you were talking about it earlier and I looked down and I realized I had my Trump shirt on.
This right here. That one right there. That comment.
Oh, bullshit. Y'all ain't talked to her offline, have you?
All right. We might have to do the rest of these tomorrow. Because basically what he's doing. So this was the motion, the next one. Defendant Lynette Preston's response to plaintiff's document request. And this was the general objections. And Defendant Preston expressly reserves right to supplement, clarify, or revise or correct any or all of the responses and objections herein, and to assert additional objections or privileges. So literally he goes and says what the objections were, and then he goes into like individual. I'm ignoring y'all.
Just OS, only spitters.
I'm sitting in a logistics trailer in the Palisades fire. I've got 3 people here going, what? I'm sorry.
Poor
Tell everybody
Cynthia.
to stay safe and give them my best. Adjust Squid Halo.
Tell them don't spit. Swallowing's best.
Cleaner. Just saying. Good night.
If you eat pineapple, it makes it taste better.
Stop. We're not going there. You just got the Giphy. You just got Rosalind's Giphy.
I just got fucked up.
Like,
don't let kids watch this stream.
If you're gonna watch Shizzy's video from tonight, wrap your ribs with an ace bandage because you will laugh till tears run down.
I've got him in the background.
So, this one.
Shizzy just took a pee break.
Shizzy took a pee break?
Yeah.
Everybody's got to go every once in a while. So he goes in. So he basically says what Bubbles said was the objections. The request is overly broad, vague, or ambiguous, overly broad in scope and time, and says his response. Without waiving any objections, my messages saved by Miss Preston with Mr. Hale's to and from will be produced. So RFP number 2, which we've already talked about, all the peoples. Once again, the objections he names were overly broad, unduly burdensome, not reasonably calculated, vague. It's the same thing. It seeks to impose duties beyond those arising under federal rules of civil procedure. It combines what is, in reality, dozens of requests into one. Response: without waiving any objections, messages saved by Miss Preston with Mr. Hale's from to will be produced. Does it again. It's the same response. Wow. Without waiving any objections. Like RFP number 4, all the objections, it's vague and ambiguous, lacks sufficient specificity. It's literally, he literally says pretty much the same exact.
He was straight up refusing to provide anything.
Yeah.
So either he's just refusing to be a jackass to get himself in trouble, or they ain't got shit.
Yeah, it's Shochet reposting what was said in his own,
Ooh,
and what his response, like, it's.
Ooh.
It's basically him showing what the, yeah. So.
Yamaha!
Defendant Don Cook says it's the same thing. General objections, same freaking thing. Same freaking thing. He reposts it. It's basically Randy reposting what was said. Like premature, like overly broad. And this is redundant because they've already written this. But it has to be. Randy has to put it back in there. Yeah, it's cut and paste. It's Bubbles was not by any means original. Yeah, and I know they're from Lion, Lynette, and John Cook through Bubbles against, but Jeremy is one that's reposting them because this was all in. And DW, I'm sorry, you have to get an IV. You said you were getting an IV earlier too. I hope it's nothing like that is incurable, whatever you're getting an IV for. I did finally schedule my hydration IV on Thursday. So, and then the emails. So, yeah. It's like it was redundant. A lot of redundancy. Lot of redundancy. Hey, you just missed us going completely off the rails. The only time I've ever actually heard him on the fleas was when they were talking about my daughter. Other than that, like, I know I don't have the greatest voice. Like, I know sometimes my voice gets super, like, youperish, but at the same time, like, I don't, I don't, her voice reminds me of, like, a pack-a-day smoker and emphysema patient. So, I'm sorry. Well, at least it's not the C word, but, I mean, I do vitamin infusions, every few weeks, or I usually do one once a month. It's not so much to stay hydrated, it's, like, because I hate taking vitamins and I hate, and I chronically have low vitamin D even when I take, like, over the counter or prescription, vitamin D supplements, like, I just suck at it, like, my vitamin D is not great. Yes, go sub to Orphan Kitten Rescue Texas, please. Shizzy broke the internet with Bubbles. Shara filed a police report on the good. Like, good. Like, I just think it's funny that they continually talk about me, but supposedly, but claim to not know who I am. It's like, liar, liar,
Pants on fire.
liar, pants on fire. Yeah, we just went back to being 8 years old. That's fine. So,
Just like Bubble stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni.
well, here's the thing. This is not the document that I wanted to read. I was really hoping for Judge Belaytho to come back with his rulings. I like the way he writes, and I like how he is no nonsense. He is like he said in his last motion or his last order, where he said the only person who acted appropriately is the court reporter. He is straightforward. He is no nonsense. He is no fluff. Like, it is what it is, and he's gonna tell it to you. And I like judges like that. I don't like Judge DeThomasis, who goes off on tangents and talks for 8 hours about nothing and, like, tries to litigate from the bench. Like,
Hey, it's me just
the
admitting to being
voices.
a sub.
I have spasmodic dysphonia, not as bad as RFK Jr. Yeah, see, like, I can even listen to RFK Jr. and I don't have a problem with it, but for some reason, her voice is like nails on a fucking chalkboard to me. Like,
Hers is a drug-induced voice, though. All them years of drugs.
Mm. Judge Arthur is my favorite. Yeah, Judge Arthur is still my favorite. Judge Arthur, followed by the Tuft of Justice, down in the J Hatch Maya Kowalski case. So, and then, yeah, I am too waiting for the major decision adding defendants to the federal case. I think we all are. Somebody commented that on the short I made earlier, and I completely agree with them. Like, this was not the order that I was or the motion that I was hoping for, but this is one that needed to be done because now you have a motion to compel discovery. Like, we tried this the good old-fashioned way of, like, emailing back and forth like people do, and you're being difficult. And you're being difficult, and now you're going out of your way to be difficult. And now the judge needs to step in. And I think this is just gonna annoy the judge. I just think it's going to annoy the judge. Not from, like, Randy shouldn't have done it kind of annoy the judge, but it's like one more thing that can't be handled between two lawyers professionally.
Because
One
Bruce
more
was
thing that the
back
judge
from
has to
the show.
play. Like, it's just yeah, it's one more thing that the judge has to, like, hold your hand to do, instead of you just being a professional and doing it because you're a professional and that's what you do. Just saying. Like, I could be wrong, but, like, there are some things, like, we're dealing or I have my real estate agent, and we put in an offer on a house, but we didn't write it up, go through all the formal steps. We're doing it in the informal way of just professionally, like, hey, my clients want to put in a put in an offer for this house at this price. What do you to bring it to your client to see what he thinks, and we're going to agree upon something before we go through the formal procedures of signing your name, because then if they reject it or they come back with a counter offer, it's a lot of paperwork and a lot of time and effort, when it literally could be done. Hey, what do you think of this? Does your client accept it? Come back with a counter offer, like through a text message or an email. It's so much quicker. It's not so formal. It takes less time. Like, it's just it's easier. Like, but then you get those certain people who want to make it difficult and can't do it that way. So you have to write up this huge offer, sign it just for them to say no. Like, you could have just said no to begin with. Like, you could have saved all the time and just brought it to your client, and they could have said no. We put in an offer on a house and the owner said no. So, but he never came back with a counter offer. So, like,
You talking about the one you just went and looked at?
yeah. There are some things that need to be repaired, such as I don't know, the door frame for the garage it looked like it was kicked in, and it was repaired with screws instead of replacing the whole door frame. So there are certain things that, like, and because it's new construction, the house was only built in the beginning of mid 2024, and it's already, like, he never did the landscaping in the back, so it's all weeds. So that would have to be, like, fixed. There's certain things, and I found a house that has a smaller lot. It's a smaller lot than it's a smaller lot, but at the same time, like, it's relatively new. It was built in 23, and but it's I don't it like its landscaping is done. Like, it's the same size house. It's like 10 square feet difference. But, like, it's not the ideal. Well, there is a house that's for sale that is, like, if I were to not be or budget not being a problem, I would want. I sent it to my real estate agent and I was like, I know this is not, I know this is above our budget. We could afford it, yes, but we would be house broke. We'd have a nice house and couldn't afford to do anything. So, it's one of those, like, eh. And then my dad was like, "It's a smaller lot." And I'm like, Mr. Squid is 40 and I am almost 40. Do you think we have not, like, taken all of this stuff into consideration? Like, we've taken all of this. Like, I look before I send anybody a house, especially my real estate agent, I'm like, would I be willing to move if I saw it and liked it? Like, I'm not looking for ones that I'm kind of wishy-washy on. Like, when you look at a house and you're like, no, that means I'm not gonna be interested in it, because if I don't like it in pictures, I'm not gonna like it in person. Like, so kind of one of those weird situations, but this one's not in the same location, but it'd be about 5 or 10 minutes longer for um, Mr. Squid to get to work than the other one, which was still a lot less than it is now. So it's you know, we can do, we can do an LMNOP grift to raise money for your house. Pretty much all the super chat money that I get right now, well, this month will be paying off Christmas, but um anything that I get goes straight into savings. When it gets transferred to my account, it gets transferred to my savings account because like I'm I try not to budget because YouTube money is so inconsistent. Like I'm not big enough to say, "Oh, I'm going to make this much money per month at least." Like one month will be somewhat decently high and the next month will be like $90. Like you can't there's no way of judging what your YouTube income is going to be like. So I try not to count it
Right.
in the budget because
Until you get
if I don't count it in the budget, it goes straight in. At least it goes straight into savings, and if it does go for certain things, half of it still goes into savings because any extra money for that house will be great. Because if we buy this house, we need a shed to keep all our stuff in. Like, so now we have to factor in the cost of a shed. It's like, because, we have a garage, but I would like to actually be able to use my garage for a vehicle. So, Squid should get a mansion in Hollywood. With what money? And one, I would never move to California. I'm sorry. No.
that part.
That part. Nope. 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 Nope.
My dream is to have a mobile home on 5 acres of land.
I would love a few acres. I would love this house that is a little out of our price range. And it's still within our like budget of what we've been like approved for, pre-approved for, combined with our down payment. It still would work. It would just be like we have a certain monthly amount that we're trying to stay in.
Right.
So it's not the cost of the house. What's determining the house is the monthly payment.
Right.
Like what our mortgage is going to be, not what our mortgage payment is going to be, not the ultimate cost of the house. So the
Right.
more we can put on as a down payment, the less monthly cost we'll have and the less tax or the less interest we'll pay. And with interest rates the way they are right now and not looking to be going down anytime soon, it's the more the more we can put down on a house so we don't have to pay the interest on the back end makes me happy.
Right.
So right now everything is going into savings so that we can put more down on a house. So but this house that is out of our budget is like my perfect, like if I could choose anything I want without regards to like lot size or land, this is like I would say 3/4 of an acre. So still in a neighborhood. It's not as much land as I'd like, but the house itself, it's like 2,000 square feet, but it's 4 bedrooms, nice laundry room, dining room, a little breakfast nook, covered porch in the back that we could easily add like a screen to make it a screened in porch, which, in the summertime, how those mosquitoes are. So it's one of those like, it's a split bedroom. It's got a nice, the bathroom is big. The master bath is big, but it doesn't have a walk-in, like a whirlpool tub. Because I realized after helping my friend's cleaning business and cleaning houses, I do not want to clean a whirlpool tub because that is a big pain in the butt.
Nasty too.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like, how often do you take a bath? Like, really, how often do you take a bath where you need a soaking tub? And I've literally had, it's not just the tub that's hard to clean, it's like all the outside, like, how you usually have a tile outside area. And then the window there's generally a window right there, and that window makes it hard to clean without stepping inside of, inside of that tub, and it's just I realized things I thought I wanted when I started helping my friend with his business. I don't want anymore.
I used to do Airbnb cleaning.
Yeah, no.
I hated cleaning my clients' jets because they would have, and we live in a lake town, by the way, and they would have people come in that had parties, and they would use those jet tubs, and all this black gunk would get caked up in.
Nope.
Nope.
So like there's things that I thought I wanted, but like this house doesn't have it. This house just has a large, regular shower. And I'm like, I'm fine with that. Like I am perfectly fine with that. Like I don't need a soaking tub, which is not only more expensive, but like harder to clean. So like there's things I thought I wanted, but this house would be like perfect. I could have Mr. Squid and I could have an office where we would still be able to have a guest bedroom and not have like right now his you just got booted? Oh no. I'm sorry. It's yeah, the point is if they're not perfectly clean, you're bathing in someone else's filth. Yeah. And it's always gross when you put it like that. It's just one of those like random difficult things, Like, but this house is like, I said it to my real estate agent. I was like, I know that this is outside of our budget. However, if I could have any house that I wanted within a reasonable size, because I don't want a 3,000 square foot house because it might look pretty, but it's more to clean. And it's more crap to accumulate because the bigger the house you have, the more shit you accumulate. So always and keep in mind that the older you get, the more likely you have mobility issues, and weigh that into look for easily convertible homes or you'll be moving later. Yeah, and this isn't going to be our permanent house either. This is going to be a stepping stone house. However, damn, I completely agree with that. My background, for those of you who don't know, is occupational therapy. So I have an associate's in occupational therapy assistant, and I worked at a hospital for 6 years. So I have done enough home visits with people too. Plus I had brain surgery. So I had to sit down while I took a shower for a few weeks. So it's one of those no, chat is slow because it's midnight and most people are sleeping. So but like it's just one of those situations where the kitchen is great. It's got a back porch that's covered so you're not in the sun. Like yeah. Chat is quiet because it's midnight. Like it's midnight. And speaking of it's midnight, I have to get going cuz I need to go to bed cuz I am actually getting tired. So, and I have a toddler that wakes up at 6:00. So, yeah, there's that. There are days where she sleeps till 7:15, but there are days, most days, she's up at like 6:05. Sleep, what is sleep? Yeah, that was me last night. But anyway, guys, I will see you tomorrow night. I'm taking the day off. I have stuff to catch up around the house, like I don't know, the huge piles of laundry that somehow accumulated themselves over 2 days. If anything happens or anything comes up, I will stream it. I will read any documents that drop. So if you see a random stream from me in the middle of the day, it's because new documents popped up. So if not, I will see you guys tomorrow night for Night Court. The good one, not the reboot. Y'all have a great day. And if you know, you know. Flash fan, that reference is too young for you. Continued success with Squid in the OT field. I don't work in occupational therapy anymore. Right now I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I am a corrective exercise specialist. My new goal is to keep people out of the medical industrial complex. What I want to do is, when people get discharged from therapy and they give you a home exercise program, I've literally had clients and patients that would tell me, I'm not going to fucking do this, right? Yes, but my hands are tied. Besides giving you home therapy, that's all I can do. So now, as a corrective exercise specialist, I want to work with those people that are too high level for PT and OT because it has to be skilled, but too low level to function optimally. So, you know, that's the new goal. So I got my certification in corrective exercise. So we're gonna see. I haven't used it so far, other than just giving people random advice. If they ask me a question, I haven't actually worked with any clients in that particular area of my life, but you know, it's my knowledge is always there if anybody wants to know. So, anyway, on that note, I will see you guys tomorrow night. I'm going to go try to get some sleep because I'm sleeping in our guest bedroom by myself. I actually get to sleep by myself. Yay, yay, yay. Email me. Email me.
Good night, chat. Good night, sister.
See ya. Y'all have a great night, and I will see you in the morning. Bye.